the bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw for the end zone goal.
Live from the Raising Cane studio, it's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Tuesday show's brought to you by Community Steel. Buildings, sheeting, components, communitysteelco.com. It is Tuesday at 9 a.m., so you know what that means. We catch up with our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans football. Talk a little New Orleans Saints. Nicholas, how we doing this week, sir?
Hey, doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. Got spring football starting today. We had LSU's Pro Day yesterday. We got the draft right around the corner, so a great time on the sports calendar. Did you maybe take a look into a couple of Pro Days? Feels like some big ones for LSU. Miami, LSU yesterday. Any thoughts about what happened at those two Pro Days?
Well, first of all, I want to point out a week ago today, you were ahead of everybody by having the starting the Delane conversation for the Saints.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and he runs like that, and now all of a sudden, that's how it goes too. Or, oh man, now he's top 10 for sure. And he was kind of fringe top 10 before. But he is. Look, I don't think a lot of people expected him to be able to run like that. Right. They thought he was fast. They thought he, great press coverage corner. I checked him with scouts. LSU put out 4.35. The timer on the league was 4.37 at the lowest, 4.39 at the highest. So like a very legit time that they put out there. The second one was 4.44. He really ran that though, and yeah. Look, I think everything you said was incredibly accurate. And I'm not trying to gas you here, but like I think it's an outstanding thing for the Saints. Either they want him, somebody else wants him, and they trade for him, or somebody ahead of the Saints wants him, right, and they take him, and that means another guy falls down. Like that spot at 8 is starting to look better and better as you go through it. Like there's just a handful of guys that feel like they're really actually worth that pick. And I don't think you're going to feel bad about who you get out of there. And then Miami was the other one. That was the big one yesterday. Kellen Moore was out there. I think all things being equal, if the Saints could pick one guy out of the top 10 prospects for the team, I think it'd be Ruben Bain. But I don't think that he's going to be there for them. I don't know if you guys seen his interview with Cam Wolfe from NFL Network, where he was talking about like Mike Tyson being undersized and it didn't matter. Kind of love that. But yeah, man, like it just feels like they're in a good spot right now. You've got the team built kind of the right way, and it feels like the draft's going to fall advantageously for them too.
Yeah, I feel like the Saints are in a really good spot, and we talked about it. Now, Washington at 7 because they only have, pick 7. I think they're 7, 71, and like 146 somewhere in that ballpark. And so they could use some other assets in this draft, obviously, as well, not having many picks. And, I mean, the Saints and the Marshawn Lattimore deal, that's like one reason. But the Dolphins have 11 picks. And so, like, if the Dolphins wanted to go from 11 to 7, like, that would make a lot of sense. And the Dolphins need a corner. But also, like, if Washington doesn't want to move, let's say Jeremiah Love's there and Washington could add a running back, even though they've signed, one that had a rookie play okay last year, they still could go running back. And if that happens, then, Nick, then you're talking about you're in a great spot because teams 9, 10, 11, 12 all need a corner. And if Mansour Delane is the guy that all those teams want, now, that would be crazy for Mickey to ever trade back, but he would be in a great position to do so.
I mean, you do these mock drafts, like, and now all of a sudden, like, you're sitting there at 8, and there's, like, 5 guys. You're like, man, I'd be cool with, X, Y, Z here. And if that's really how you feel and someone wants a corner, I mean, it is the best way to do it, I think, this year. Like, cause you just have you have so many places you can go with it, and if you can pick up like another second rounder somewhere, I mean, all of a sudden, like you're just building so much better. And you said it last week, like it's so deep at edge, like you could trade back, get something else, you pick up an edge in the second, you get your receiver in the second, and then whatever you're getting in the first, like, and I think you add 3 guys to a team that all of a sudden, like there's a lot of building blocks on this team, and I think last year when we were talking about it at this time, it was like, maybe they got Fuaga, maybe they got Olave, and it didn't feel like there were a lot of long-term building blocks. And you look around now, like you get Chris on a new deal, who, by the way, man, that JSN contract, I don't think anybody was probably happier than him when that hit, because now all of a sudden, I don't think it puts him above, but
No.
if you're asking for $34 million and now the ceiling on the position just went up, now you're $8.5 million away from that, and that just becomes a more realistic number for you. So, I mean, that's why you always want to get those things done sooner than later. I mean, you got him, you got Shuck, you got, Edwards, Banks, Fuaga, McCoy if he's healthy. Like, offensively, you got a lot of guys you can build around. Achan, another one. Like, you got a young, good offense. Now, defensively, like, you got a couple guys, like Caden Ellis is in there. You feel probably pretty good about Kool-Aid. You need a few more guys on that side of the ball, but, like, Tanker's in there probably. But, I mean, they got a handful of guys, and you had, like, 3 guys in the draft. Like, if you hit on 2 out of those 3, you trade back and you get, 3 picks in the first 2 rounds. I don't know. I feel like the lane development could be a huge thing for them, and, they could just pick him. Like, and they could definitely use him. I felt probably better about Kool-Aid last year than I did about Riley. I feel okay about both. But, I mean, you put him in that mix at the 1-2, and even if, Riley isn't your slot player, who cares? Like, you always need depth at that position. So there's a lot of ways to go with it, man. Like, there really is. Like, I think they're in a great spot.
Nick, why wasn't there any more urgency to get the Olave deal done? I mean, I guess you couldn't foresee this type of number happening. 120 million guarantee is like 42 or something like that per year for JSN. Like, they had to know something was coming for him, for that player in particular, that would give Olave some sort of comp to go against. Now, certainly he's not the player JSN is, but he's certainly not 75% of the player he is, which would be like a little over 30 million a year. So, like, why wasn't there any more urgency to get this deal done faster?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and yeah, like, obviously he's not going over it, and obviously, like, you knew that was in the wind, and the Puka one's coming behind it too. So, that one will probably be market resetting as well. It's a good question. Like, so my read on the whole thing is that I think at one point it was kind of close. I think, and I still think it's probably the parameters of it are probably pretty close. Like, I would assume both sides are probably pretty settled on a year structure and a average annual value structure. Like, I don't think those numbers are hard to come by. Like, you can just kind of look at it. Hey, Garrett Wilson's at 32.5. His numbers exceed him everywhere. His 17-game averages are better. His overall numbers are better. And that kind of flipped back in Chris's direction last year. Chris just had the second-team All-Pro. So, and Garrett and Chris both happen to have the same agent, I believe. So, I mean, one sets the other. There's no way they're going to take less. So it's like 32.6 would have to be the floor on this. But then you look at DK Metcalf. He's at 33, and that's kind of an old deal, and I think Chris has exceeded him too. So you're probably somewhere on the other side of 33. I think probably all sides can agree on that pretty easily, and they know where that's going to go. I think where it gets tricky is with the guarantees, and I do think on the Olave side that there's a realism about the situation and the risk and all that stuff. I don't think it's probably unreasonable from his point of view about, the team looking for ways to protect itself. But I would imagine that that's probably a complicated battle that, they probably don't want to be stuck in a place where if there's another concussion, they're stuck. And I'm assuming Chris probably wants a certain level of guarantee. I think where it ends up probably settling somewhere in the middle where, hey, look, you're going to guarantee most of the first 2 years. And then if you play 70% of the snaps in year 2, year 3 becomes guaranteed. And like probably different thresholds through that. But, when it's Drew Rosenhaus and Mickey Loomis and they're both shrewd negotiators, I mean, that thing's going to grind out, man. Like, and, there's probably a lot of moving pieces here. And Drew's probably got to be, he's got to look out for his guy, but he also has to, be there's precedent for his other clients too that he's probably battling against. And I just think it probably becomes a little bit messy because, there aren't a lot of guys that have had that concussion history that are that young, that are, coming off an all-pro season. So it's not like you got an anchor point. You're like, well, they did this, so this is kind of where it's at. Like, you're trying to figure that out. So, I'm guessing that's, there were a few times already this offseason where I thought, you kind of start catching them signals, hey, like this is starting to move, like it's getting closer. And a couple times I thought it was going to hit kind of early. But But I think it's just some sticking points on kind of how the guarantee structure is going to work on that. But when it comes in, I would feel pretty confident that it's going to be somewhere north of that DK number.
Catching up with Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football here on OTB. If we go to the Saints free agency, and there's two guys that have been valuable to the Saints. Now they're older. Taysom Hill going to be 36, and not really knowing what's going to happen if he's going to play football. But it's more with Cam Jordan, who's going to be 37, coming off a very productive year, 10.5 sacks. We all know that. What's the latest you're hearing with those two free agents? And is Taysom kind of he's either going to play for the Saints or he's not going to play at all? And where's Cam Jordan right now in his relationship with the franchise?
I think those two guys, well, I'll throw Alvin in there. I think those two guys, their futures with the team are kind of the most interesting thing right now. I think Taysom for sure is retirement. I mean, it's possible, he can come back. But and I'm reluctant to say this, but what would his place be with the team? I think if he came back, it would have to be in a basically a league minimum type role where you're kind of looking at him like how they used Jimmy Graham that year from the 2-yard line in. And it's like, hey, look, Taysom averaged 2.2 yards per carry last year. He completed 30% of his passes, fumbled was it 4 or 5 times on a limited number of carries. I think it's just kind of clear where he's at, but I think there's still value there from those short yardage runs, goal line runs. If he came back, it would have to be specifically that, I think. But I think he's probably going to end up retiring. That seems to be where the wind's blowing on that. Nothing happened with the contract. They let it void. I think it's just kind of clearly going in one direction there. So the other Cam situation is interesting. I didn't expect it to go this long. I really thought that they'd settle at a number, and I think that kind of signals three things here, and two of them are good for the Saints. Cam either doesn't have a market or he has a market and he isn't willing to go, and it just kind of seems like it's one of those two things, and both those things play in the Saints' favor. So they're just sitting there waiting for him to probably take the offer that they got on the table. I would guess the Saints are probably around 6.5, and I would guess Cam's probably around 10. And I think there's some sticking points over incentive-laden deals. I think Cam feels like he did a favor for the team last year and outplayed it, and now it's time for them to do him right. And I think it's just kind of at that crossroads. But it just it feels like I don't know. I still think this one probably gets done, but it's weird now. And the longer it goes, the more chance there is for hurt feelings or someone just waking up and being like, "F it, I'm going to go play against them." So I think anything's possible there. And then the Alvin one is incredibly fascinating. The way they did that contract, it allows it so that they get the proration on the number, and they haven't guaranteed any additional money. There's $3 million guaranteed. It's weird. It's definitely a weird situation right now because it feels like the team has moved on. I think their actions have told you they've moved on. Kellen Moore is giving weird answers about it. Is one of those things where when you're looking for signs and signals and just kind of got your ear out there hearing what's going on. I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe it just feels like anything's possible right now. I would not be surprised if there was a separation. I'm not saying there's going to be, but I think there's enough signals here to where it's kind of one of those things where you're perked up and you're like, wait, this feels like it's going a certain direction, and nobody's saying anything different. So I think a couple of things could happen there. I think he could retire, he could move on, or I think if he comes back, it would have to be on a pay cut. And I honestly think I think Alvin's probably the one that wants to keep it more than anybody. So I don't know. It's an interesting situation. It just looks very weird. The signals to it are very weird. The way they did his contract was the same way they did Marshawn's contract when they started looking to move on from him. So and everybody else, it's always just a clean restructure. The money gets guaranteed and they're on the team and you get that proration that way. They deliberately kept their flexibility open here. And it's just, nobody's saying anything about anything. It's a very, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying there's curiosities around this one a little bit right now.
Nick, how much influence on personnel decisions, on the free agent line, on the upcoming draft? How much influence does Kellen Moore have?
It's a great question. Yeah, I think he has a lot, but it kind of feels like it's operating a little bit differently the last year and this year. I kind of think that a lot of the personnel decisions were driven first and foremost by the head coach, and I think now it's more here's the things we would like to have, here's the things we want, these are the guys that fit, here's a list, here's who we'd like to have go to work, and I think there's kind of more of that right now than there has been the last few years. I think he's still obviously very, very involved, but I think the front office is more involved in shaping decisions than they have been the last few years. So I think that's definitely a shift right now. And they got a lot of guys up there, man. They've done a. It's kind of interesting. They've done a good job of getting people with experience and people that have done a good job in the league into that front office. And I think it's one of those things where, you're on cap on what you can spend on your resources, as far as personnel, brain power, all that stuff. And, I think they've invested there. Randy Mueller's, in there, and he's very, very involved in what they're doing. And, obviously he was really good as a GM, worked with Mickey before. And I think he's been a great influence on that group. Dimitrov is up there as a, more of a consultant, not necessarily day to day, but he's involved in the big picture and all that stuff. And they've just done a good job of bringing these guys back. Dave Ziegler was here last year, and then he's in Tennessee now. Is I think an assistant GM there, and they're kind of doing the same thing too, with kind of stacking that brand power. And it's tough. GMs don't get to retread. They kind of do their job, and then things get one or two things go sideways, and everything falls apart, and they're out. And that doesn't make them a less capable scout. It doesn't make their lessons in the league less valuable. So I think kind of bringing those guys in and layering it. I think I don't know. All we can do is judge last year's results, and it's a small sample, and it could be a false signal or whatever. But it seems like things are kind of working well right now. And I think there has been a little bit of a change there.
All right, there he is, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football. Go check out the site, all the latest and greatest with the New Orleans Saints. Nicholas, we appreciate the time as always. Look forward to our next conversation. Enjoy the rest of your week, sir.
Yeah, gentlemen, take it easy.
All right, Nick Underhill breaking it all down with a lot of different situations. The Cam Jordan situation, the Chris Olave situation, what the Saints are going to do in the upcoming draft, and we can hit on some of that. Certainly the comparison between Chris Olave and Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and we'll do that when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to getgordon.com, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. When you go to the website, you can have a chat with a live agent right there on the homepage. You can check out cases that they can handle for you in the courtroom. You can check out past client results as well, all right there at getgordon.com. Now, it's always going to be at getgordon as far as major social media. That's the handle there to see what they're doing with your favorite athletes in Louisiana, to see what they're doing in the local communities as well. And it's always pick up the phone, dial your area code, follow about 888-8888. To get in contact with them as well. Get Gordon and get it done.
Is that anywhere in Louisiana?
It's anywhere. 318-985-504-225-337. You name it.
I think you nailed them all. Nice work. 888-8888. Getgordon.com. If you've been injured, whether it's in a car accident, whether it's on the job, whatever it is, look, it is not your fault. And most people don't really know what to do if they've been injured. Well, call Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. They've been doing this a long time, helping people all over Louisiana get exactly what they deserve. Give them a call. Go see them. GetGordon.com.
Off the bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Tuesday show presented by Community Steel.
All right. Hey, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raise the Cane studio. Always remind you about our friends over at K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. K to Z Blinds.com. KTOZBlinds.com. Shades, drapes, motorized screens, inside, outside, sometimes both. Have Brandon Barton and the team come out to your space. Check out your space. Know your space, learn your space, change your space in a matter of minutes. They've done it for me. They will do it for you as well. Go check out the website, that service area as well. Chances are, if you're listening to us in Louisiana, they're going to be able to help you out. 985-337-225, sometimes even in the 31831 grade. So check them out online, k2zblinds.com. Share with the class, bud.
Oh, man. I don't even know how to approach this story. It's what y'all sent in the group text yesterday.
What I sent?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do want to talk about it. You know I want to talk about it.
I know you do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can intro it.
Okay, so there is a big story making its way across the socials, and I don't know if I'm exaggerating, like when we say this is one of the more wild sentences ever written in the English language. 27-year-old Dayton Weber, a professional quadruple amputee cornhole player, is accused of fatally shooting somebody. And that's pretty much the lead into the story. And what?
Yeah. This guy's like a
Quadruple
amputee. When he was a baby, he got a bacterial infection,
Okay.
and he was actually given like his last rites and everything. Like they thought he was gonna die, but he ended up getting both his arms and his legs cut off, and he survived. But so this isn't the first time he's making headlines. He's made history before. He was the first quadruple amputee to compete in the professional televised American Cornhole League. So he's pretty much a legend.
After I saw the story, I feel like I've seen clips of him too, like raking too.
Like he's really good at cornhole.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know because I never really paid attention to the American Cornhole League before this. But now he's kind of putting them on the map.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was arrested on charges he's facing murder charges in connection with the death of his friend, Roderick Wells. And he apparently shot him in the car. They got in an argument in the car. And around 10:25 p.m. on Sunday, the police were called, and he is accused of killing his friend in the car, this quadruple amputee.
Define the odds.
I don't think he did it. I just think it would be.
One of the reporters asked the cop or the sheriff.
Knowing nothing about the story, you don't think he did it.
I guess the sheriff's department held like a press conference or something, and they asked, like, was this gun made like for somebody that was an amputee? Like, you could add special stuff to it for an amputee to use it. But the sheriff's department was like, we don't have an answer to that right now.
And I know there's been videos going around of like okay, remember the guy in the Olympics didn't have any arms, was shooting the bow and arrow with his feet and everything. Pulling the trigger in the car is going to be even harder because like if you're at a range, you can take your time and do all that. I don't know. I'm assuming he wasn't driving.
Tricky situation here. But
It's definitely tricky.
And it is a headline. People are talking about it. So
I mean, at this point, if you told me he was the driver of the car, I'd believe you at this point.
It's our journalistic responsibility
Right.
to speak about this as well.
I just got to catch up.
So
There's not a lot to get.
I'm gonna be honest. So I used to know
on this one.
I used to know somebody that didn't have arms,
Okay.
but they did have legs, and
Okay.
he would drive a car.
Yeah.
But he would drive the car like with his feet.
Yeah.
And he had the brakes like up top so that it was like he could brake with like, you know? So I'm assuming that there is a way that he drove off. I don't know. Like he does have the prosthetics on his legs.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a
put him
help.
on his arms too, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just
Hey, but I have seen clips playing corner. He crashing corner.
I was trying not to laugh, but like Alondra's statement was just objectively funny when she was like, "Yeah, this isn't the first time he made headlines." I'm like, yeah.
No, he made headlines because he was like legendary cornhole player.
Yeah.
Bilbo said, if you're letting a quadruple amputee drive you around, you're already on borrowed time.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, you're asking
So
for
I don't
trouble.
think he was the one driving the car at the time. I think he was a passenger in the car.
Okay.
And then after he killed his, they're saying that they're friends, but I wouldn't kill my friend. So I don't know if you can call him a friend, but he drove off after, is how I'm understanding.
I mean, this
So
is
he
him-
was
Show that mugshot again.
arrested as a
please.
fugitive.
It's kind of got a
Longer
you know
hair
what,
now, yeah.
eating grin.
Right. He's like,
too.
nah, I did that.
Mm,
The
He's like,
mugshot's like,
folks back home
he
ain't gonna
deserved
believe
it.
this.
yeah.
No
Okay,
way-
so this
no
is
way I
him.
get charged.
This is him, I believe, like actually holding a
Wow.
firearm.
See, that doesn't look like there's like a special attachment on it either.
No, but it
My
also
God.
doesn't look like he can pull the trigger.
But I've seen, but I think the video went around socials as well
Of like him actually
yeah.
firing.
Like cocking it, firing it.
Okay.
Where'd y'all see this story?
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay.
And then I did my research because I felt like I had to for the people.
Well, people need to know. Anyway, now you're updated on the latest professional cornhole
Correct.
news.
Dayton Weber.
Take something real.
It's a very sporty name.
Dayton Weber.
Yeah.
That is a good name.
Feels like he's an SEC Saturday starter.
He does.
With a name like that, you know?
He like transferred from a smaller school.
Yeah,
Okay,
Grand
okay.
Canyon.
So Weber was the one that was driving the car. Wells was in the front seat passenger.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
laughing
Okay, so
at the
there
guy,
were
just
other
the
people-
situation.
It's just the whole
Wait,
situation.
there were
is-
other people in the vehicle. They started arguing in front of others. Weber allegedly shot Wells to death and pulled over in the community.
It feels
And
like this is pretty cut and dry at this
so
point.
so then
Oh, yeah.
he
No
asked
questions.
he asked the other passengers to help him remove him from the car. The others refused, got out of the car and fled the scene while Weber drove away with the body.
Just asking for help. Like, you guys saw that, right? Like,
Like-
he had that coming. Like, you saw.
Yeah. What was the last part?
He drove away with the body.
Okay.
So he was driving. Multiple people felt safe enough for him to drive.
Yeah.
And they just casually watched it. Like, okay, if he shot this gun, there's no way he's like quick drawing it, right? Like, you kind of got to take your
yeah.
time and do that.
You know, we don't know. We can speculate all we want. Someone in the chat says, would they officially call that friendly fire?
Probably so. Yeah, I would say that's friendly fire.
Fair point. Just don't, Taylor.
I just
Just don't.
I just have some questions.
There's a lot of questions to be answered. I'm sure they will in the court of law. The legal
We're just
process
gonna have
has
to
to work
wait.
itself out.
You ever seen Year One? Anybody ever seen that? Jack Black, Michael Cera.
Yeah.
In it, Cain and Abel are in it, and they reenact Cain, killing his brother Abel, and he's like, "You guys saw that, right? It was self-defense, right? Like you saw. They're like, no, like you totally just killed him." He's like, no, like you saw. It's the only thing I can think of.
So he plays cornhole. Quadruple amputee, by the way, plays cornhole, drives, and can shoot and drive at the same time.
I'll say he's winning.
I mean,
And convince
it's impressive.
his friends to let them chauffeur him or chauffeur him around.
Yeah.
I mean, the murder thing's not great, but defied a lot of odds, for sure.
Daniel Batson says, give this guy a hand.
I don't know if he-
I don't even
Oh,
want to
we
look
should
at the
do that.
chat right now because I
It's-
already
yeah,
know
it's-
I'm going to just
yeah,
start laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it's not a good place if you don't want to say them.
We just really gotta. We just
Somebody
really
said it was a hit and roll.
no.
No.
It's our
Hands
job to read the
down-
headlines, and that's
hands
over.
down, he
It's
did
done.
it.
It's done.
All right. Let's take a break because this is a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. We're not even gonna fall for it.
Slippery slope that you know we'll fall for. We'll be back. More OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
Oh,
Come on, guys. Don't read the comments.
Go to Russell Pool Company, russellpools.com. That is the website to get your dream pool built in your backyard. Now, maybe you've had your dream for a long time and you know exactly what you want. That's great. They'll sit down, they'll make sure that gets done. But maybe you want some help. Maybe you want some advice on what your space should look like. And they have done so many incredible custom pools here in South Louisiana. They are going to be able to help you throughout the entire process. Go check out the gallery of work. It's incredible. It'll blow you away. Maybe you want to add something to your dream pool. Check out the financing options on the homepage as well. Go to the website, see it all, russellpools.com.
That's right. Let us build your dream pool. Whatever you can think of, they can do it. The best custom pools in Louisiana, the most high quality, the best people, the best service, and 2 landscape architects on staff. They can draw it, they can engineer it, they can design it, they can build it, they can maintain it, they can do everything. The name you think of when you think of the best pools in Louisiana is Russell Pools, russellpools.com.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Tuesday show, presented by Community Steel.
I forgot to pull up a song while we were in break.
Yeah.
So there's just playing the rest of
That's
Raspberry.
good. We were laughing
Great
a
song.
lot. We laughed a lot during break.
Welcome back in.
Over nothing in particular.
Nope. Nope. Tuesday shows powered by Community Steel, locally owned company, getting it done the right way across Louisiana, from structural steel to custom projects, built on a reputation in quality and reliability. You can learn more at communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. Again, bringing you every single Tuesday of OTB here live from studio. Y'all, we have to move on because y'all know we're only going to
Murphy, Sam, and Jody would never.
23 more.
Never. They would
never.
never touch a topic like this.
Murphy, Sam, and Jody thinks Dayton's guilty.
I haven't seen any reports of this, but the chat is informing me that he had a Tesla.
Tracks.
So it was
driving
self-driving.
himself.
Yeah.
Did we confirm that Murphy, Sam, and Jody did win Best Morning Show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They did.
We
Congratulations
just
to
gotta
them.
make more
They
noise
deserve
this
it.
year.
I think we just need to talk more about
We're off to a good
how
start.
we dye Easter eggs. Maybe we
Yeah.
give Easter egg dyeing.
Well, you're forgetting
how-
top 5 Easter candy as
Really?
well.
Or we could be in the Best Sports Show category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather talk about which pastel colors are the best for Easter.
Yeah.
It's obviously mint. Green.
That was,
I like
that
your
was
shirt.
quick.
I do like the green
lavender.
one.
Lavender's
Yeah.
better.
Lavender is great.
I don't like lavender because
It's goated.
like I like LSU purple. You know, so that's
Yeah.
the shade of purple I prefer.
It's a goated pastel color.
It is.
Mint's a good one too.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Dev. He didn't answer when we called him.
Yeah.
Hasn't responded to my text.
He probably watched Raw last night, got a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get it? Happens.
Yeah.
Been there. Do we think that Nick Underhill thinks that Olave is going to get the same contract as JSN or close?
That would be
After that
insane if
conversation?
they did.
No,
I think what he's saying is that he believes they're probably asked his side of things. They're asking for like 34, which just like that's going to be $8.5 million
wait, he just
less
responded.
than the new
Yeah.
than JSN's contract. So
Yeah.
it brings more validity to what they're asking,
Right.
right? I mean,
JSN in 3 years has 3,551 yards. He had 628, 1130, 1793, won Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL last year. He has 20 touchdowns in 3 seasons. Chris Olave in 4 seasons has 19 touchdowns. So one less touchdown. Total yards, 3728. So he's a little on 200 yards more in one more season. Although he certainly dealt with some injuries through the concussions. So it's another concern as well. It's not to say Chris Olave is not a really, really, really good player. He is. But JSN just won Offensive Player of the Year in the league.
But yeah, that asking price for sure. Like, okay, we didn't really talk about this. Alec Pierce getting $116 million. Olave's got to be happy about that. Like, Alec Pierce had a good season last year. He's a 1,000-yard season. Olave's had 3.
He's had more. Alec Pierce, to his credit, I
He
agree
has.
with you. He's had more big plays than
For
any
sure.
receiver in the last 3 years. Explosive plays.
yeah, that's
But
why.
he only had like 67 catches last year.
Yeah,
and
and
had
like,
it.
like
had
all his
1,000.
catches are like 40 yards.
Yeah.
But like, is that sustainable too? I guess.
Yeah, and that's why I asked him the question I did of like, why wasn't there more urgency? And maybe it was Olave side dragging their feet because they knew that contract is coming. Like Puka's going to get done, like Nick said. Like
Puka's going to set the market.
So he's going to set. So at that point, maybe it was them dragging their feet, right, just to have that argument. But I certainly would have made it a priority to get that deal done before those two hit the market. And then the Alec Pierce kind of comes out of nowhere with that, with those dollar amounts. So. When this end of the season came about, I was like, man, you got to try to get Olave at like 27, 28, something like that, tops. But
not happening
now, it's
anymore.
not happening. I mean,
No.
you're not. I mean, 34 is going to seem like a bargain now after these deals.
Nick mentioned DK's at 33. You look at the deal Alec Pierce had. Like, say what you want about Olave, he's getting more and probably deserves it at this point in his career more than they do.
And you can say whatever you want about like what you think about him and his stature and like his skill set that he has, but yeah, you can't argue. Like numbers are numbers, and you can't argue. He had number one receiver numbers, and he's a great addition and did a lot of great things. But he had more production than DK did by a lot.
Think about a guy like DK Metcalf. Like this JSN deal kills the Dallas Cowboys.
Because of Pickens?
Yeah.
Well, first off,
Lamb.
you can't sign Pickens. I don't want them to sign Pickens. Like, you're already paying CD Lamb a lot of money. He's going to want more in a few years. You're going to pay your wide receiver $35 million?
I mean, George Pickens had a
Great season. I get it, but you can't pay both of them.
Really good.
He had a really good season.
Cowboys did a good job of getting under the cap. I mean, they were well over. Now they're $14.5 million under the cap. Now you got to sign your draft class, so that's going to take from that as well. But
I mean, you could even say Pickens had a better year than Olave, right? Like it looked like from the optics, it looked different.
I mean, outside of JSN and Puka, let me see. Yeah, JSN and Puka, and then George Pickens. 1793 for JSN, 1715 for Puka, and then 1429 was third for George Pickens. He was 8th in catches, 3rd in yards, 8th in touchdowns, 7th in yards per catch.
Fascinating contracts. This JSN thing. Super fascinating.
So
I get number one receiver.
And Puka was the same draft. And if I'm not mistaken, Puka's been playing on the 5th round deal his whole time, right? Obviously.
Yeah,
You know,
he
'cause
has
ain't got
never
new
had a
deal. And so we were talking about what? 35, 37, some change for the Puka's got 4,200 in 3 years, 313 catches in 3 years, and 19 touchdowns.
Yep.
And he means more to the Rams than almost any skill player means to their team.
Yeah.
Outside of quarterback,
California
obviously.
taxes, though.
He's about to set the marker.
And he should.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the mark was going to be that high.
He might actually do it before the season starts because hey guys, I've been playing on a 5th round deal, and y'all have $26 million under the cap. I'm gonna need you. You just come holler at me real quick. I've been great. I've been good. I've never complained about my 5th round deal. But
I block.
Yeah.
I catch. I run. I do all the things.
Yeah.
I'm not like this one trick pony type guy. And he should set the mark, but who would have thought that the mark for a top receiver, a number one receiver on your team, one of the top in the league, is getting paid, middle to high end, not high end quarterback money, but good mid range quarterback money per year. Which kind of tells you, in best GM in football, John Snyder is. What's the plan there, What's the plan long term? Can you sustain a complete team that way? If anybody can do it, I guess it's going to be him. But,
yeah.
I mean, you set the mark by that much. You got to, how are you going to structure the rest of this roster for the next 3 years, right? Because you got to always be thinking in advance.
Yeah, you got to just trust that you've got the GM to do it.
And you got you got Darnold on a friendly contract now, which I think is like 37 or something like that.
And again, when you don't have dead money, you only have under $500,000 in dead money. You still have $32 million to spend if you wanted to. Like, they've done such a nice job of either developing their own guys and then rewarding them with new contracts, or, like you said, giving low-end free agent deals for the position and hitting on those as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's their scouting department that's done the job.
Mm-hmm.
To believe that Sam Darnold could be who he is.
For sure.
And some of the other pieces that they've added along the way.
Mm-hmm. It brings up the question, when Darnold's contract runs out with them, what do they do at that point with him?
They're going to, I mean, Sam's still 28, 29?
Mm-hmm.
He's still incredible.
But certainly his contract now allows them the freedom to do some of the things they're doing, right?
It does.
That's a good question brought up in the chat, Mitchell. Who are the top 3 receivers in the NFL? Puka.
Jamar Chase.
I mean, Jamar and Justin are. I mean, how are you not going to put JSN in there?
Then the conversation
it's
is
tough to have the 3.
Jets, Jamar, Puka, JSN. Maybe St. Brown is in that.
Monra. I mean, the way Pickens played, he's got to be up there.
Sam Darnold's still 28. That's crazy.
He's been playing for 25 years
That's
of his
crazy.
life.
Hopefully, Jets can get a quarterback that can throw a forward pass this year. We can see him get back to his ways. So
They do.
Kyler. We'll see.
I think he's going to do well.
Hope so. For Jets.
I honestly do. That's not like just trying.
I know.
I honestly think he'll probably.
We know you're not afraid to talk negative about somebody here.
Who am I talking negative about?
Everybody. We'll be back. More OTB.
I just literally said something positive.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com. I'm talking with Trash Rangers right now. I need a roll-off dumpster.
Oh, boy.
You got 15
You're at
yards,
the right
you got 30
place.
yards, right? You got all these different options. And so I'm letting them know, hey, here's what I have. Like, here's the trash that I have. Like, what do you think, right? And they're going to make sure that I have the right size dumpster on my job. Residential, commercial trash pickup. Even if it's on a holiday, you're not going to miss that week. They're just going to push it back a day. They'll work on Saturday. They ain't scared. They ain't scared to work on a holiday over there at Trash Rangers. All right. Check out the sanitation department as well. If you've got a job site, if you've got a party, whatever it might be, you need a portable restroom, they got you. Go to trashrangers.com.
They ain't scared. They don't need a dog.
You don't need to go to church right now.
Hey, you brought up the roll-off dumpsters. The best I've had a lot of experience with roll-off dumpsters. I've lived in a lot of different places, and when you have to have that, this is the first company I've ever talked to that just got pure flat rate pricing. 3 sizes to choose from. They're going to give you a price, but there's no additional fees on the back end. There's no like dumpage fee, tonnage fee, any of those. So the price they give you is the price you pay right there. TrashRangers.com.
Off the bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Tuesday show, presented by Community Steel.
She's a very kinky girl.
All right, welcome back in OTB. Always want to remind you about our friends over at Pala. Go to palagroup.com. It is 100% employee owned. And the cool thing about it as well, it's been in the game since the early 1970s here on the Gulf Coast, right? So they do things the right way. They've done things the right way, and they still stay the same way, right, with you being a part of it. So they are right now looking to add to their team, Matthew.
That's right. Pala is rolling right now, growing all over the country, major capital projects all over the Gulf Coast and Midwest, and looking to hire the best. That's experienced operators, welders, pipe fitters, iron workers, project managers, estimators, planners, QC pros. So if you're looking to take your career to the next level, and maybe work for an incredible company that's growing, that is 100% employee owned. Yeah, I'd like to be an employee there. Sounds awesome. Go check them out. Palagroup.com. Take your career to the next level with a group and a company that is doing it the right way. Palagroup.com, PALAgroup.com.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. If switching to the 3 to 6 time slot would get you the award, would you? No, I do NFL radio from 2 to 5. Over on Channel 88 on Sirius XM.
Also,
you're 3 to 6.
I like getting the what?
I thought you were 3 to 6.
2 to 5. Part of the deal.
Okay. All right, Dylan.
Sorry, go ahead, Laundry.
I don't know. What were we talking about?
Moving time slots.
I honestly like getting the show over with in the morning, and then I have all day to do whatever I want.
Yep.
Morning radio is definitely more
Yeah.
my jam than afternoon.
'Cause
Now,
I
I've done
leave
both
here-
for 5 years. Every
Yeah.
day,
On a
but
good day,
I know pretty well the difference.
I leave like 2:30, but on
Yeah.
a good day, I can get out of here at like noon.
Yeah, and you got plenty of stuff done.
Yeah.
And look, we're let's.
I like having my time in between
Yeah.
too. I got 10 to 2 to be able to, like today, I'm able to go to the book fair with Memphis here in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's be able to look in the mirror a little bit. Like, we're not the most sporty of sports show. We're a sports entertainment show, right? I think that plays a little bit better in the morning.
Yeah.
I think it does as well. Is there a sports-ish category?
Sports-ish.
We've got that locked up.
You got it locked up, buddy.
What
I
are
feel
your?
like we were pretty good about it today.
We were a good mix. today.
Yeah.
We are a good mix.
I mean, we gave contracts and catches
Yeah.
and numbers and all these things, and
Yeah.
broke down a pro day, and also broke down a cornhole story that was wild and had a twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
A murder situation.
Yeah. Coach Mulkey is going to join us tomorrow. By the way, I think I got
Hell
it figured
yeah.
out. It's going to be super late, 9:30, because
That's fine.
she's on California time. But I think we got it figured out. So excited for that.
Matt, you've met Kim Mulkey before?
Who's that?
Yeah, but just because she doesn't know you, don't mean you don't know her.
Don't play.
Preferred toppings for a beef taco: cheese, lettuce,
Guac.
tomatoes,
Sour cream.
let's
I
not
like a
go
sour
with-
cream.
It
Let's
depends
not-
on what kind of beef.
good greasy beef.
Let's
But it's
not,
like
get
ground
into this
beef?
taco
Yeah.
situation.
Because he does hard
He
shell.
does the
I
hard
love
shell.
a
He's,
hard
he's
shell
probably
taco.
like sharp cheddar
He's thinking about Taco
cheese,
Bell.
Pace
Yeah.
picante,
I love hard shell taco. Like you go to a good Mexican restaurant,
Old
and,
El Paso.
and the grease has kind of made the hard shell a little soft because it's so
Yeah.
greasy.
Do you like that?
I
So
can't.
good.
I can't talk tacos with this dude.
Hey,
I just can't do it.
What's this guy's deal?
What's this guy's deal? Sure.
I don't know.
I like them both. I just prefer.
I like them both too. I don't know. It's weird.
I just
Guy from
like
Texas.
default to soft, but I like both.
Well,
But it depends on the shell.
I love USA.
Off the bench.
all right, stay connected to your health on the go with the My Oshner app. Your care right in the palm of your hand. It's simple, secure, and built to make accessing healthcare easier every single day. With My Oshner, you can view your test results, medications, and visit summaries anytime. So you can go back and look at it anytime. It's always there for you. You can schedule appointments. You can request prescription refills, even launch virtual visits right from home. No travel, no waiting room. You can also pay bills. You can check insurance info. You can get reminders so you never miss an appointment. It's all about convenience, control, and saving your time, keeping you connected with your care every step of the way. So take control of your health today. Download the My Oshner app, or remember, you can visit them online. That's oshner.org/myoshner to get started. So go today, download the My Oshner app, stay on top of the entire process. My Oshner app.